Hi all, my name is Ashwin Kannan. I'm part of the CSE548 Spring 2022 class. So this project is the third project of this semester, and this is regarding the SDN-based denial of service attacks, which is DoS attacks and mitigation. In this project video, I'll be showing the various output screens as part of the requirement of this project. As the project title suggests, in this project, I'm making use of an SDN-based environment to implement the denial of service attacks and also show how to mitigate them. So this virtual machine, as we see, was created using the image shared by the professor, and hence many of the institutions like POX, etc., were already present. All I did was used wget to get the source code. That is this lab CSCNS 00103 zip. So now I'll be moving on to the output parts of this project. So in the first question, I have to create a mininet topology using which should have 4 container hosts and 1 controller switches. And then we also have to show the links from the controller to switch and then from the switch to the containers, that is hosts. So to do that, I will be running the mininet command. So this is the mininet command sudo mn. So here, as you can see, this 4. We are creating 4 mininet, 4 containers and 1 switch. When I run this, asking for a password, you can see that mininet is created. As you can see, it has 4 hosts, 1 controller, and 1 switch. So next, I have to show the links. To do this, I will simply type net here. So as you can see here, the various links: switch 1 to host 1, switch 1 to host 2, switch 2 to host 3, etc. So this completes the first question of the project. So in the second question, I have to perform IP assignment, meaning for each of these hosts H1, H2, H3, H4, I have to assign the IPs. So there are 2 methods to do this. One, H1 ETH0, we can use that and assign the IPs, or for rather than doing that, I have created a shell file called IP assignment.sh. Here I have permanently set IPs to the hosts H1, H2, H3, and H4. Now I'll be using that instead. Instead of typing if config manually. So what I'll do is I'll do source IP underscore assignment dot sh. When I do this, automatically the IPs are assigned. So if to check it, I'll do H1. You can observe here that the IP has been assigned. This completes the first 2 deliverables of this project. For the third requirement, we will be simulating a DoS flood attack. That is a denial of service flood attack. In this, we'll be following a series of steps which will primarily involve us flooding one particular host and then observing that because there's a flood attack, the whole mininet is in trouble and is not functioning. Before that, what we'll do is we will switch on the POX controller CD. POX, we will go to the POX path, and I will again have created a shell file having the POX command. This shell file I'll be attaching as part of the report. Anyways, the POX command is in this, as you can see. So I will be running this. As you can see, the box is up and running. The box controller is up and running. Now, from the Mininet window, I'll do an extern or to open all the hosts. So, host 1, host 2, host 3, and host 4. Before doing a flood attack, I will I will do an OVS CTL run or OVS run to check for flows on, check for any dump on switch 1. As you can see, as you can observe, there are no flows on switch 1. So I'll clear the screen. Next, I will start flooding host 2 from any other host. For this, I'll go back to host 1, and now I'm going to use a hping command to flood host to meaning 192.168.2.20 hyphen sending 10,000 data packets. Sorry about that. So as you can see, the flooding has started. Once the flooding has started, we will go to host to it, check for the flows. As you can see now, there is a flood attack. The host 2 has had a flood attack. We have now successfully simulated a flood attack. So we will now, just to see if the flood attack is successful, we will do a random ping from host 2. So as you can observe, the host is, I'm trying to ping the fourth host 192.168.2.4 from host 2, and as you can see, the host is unreachable. This is because the flood attack has happened. So with this, we have successfully completed deliverable 3, and we have run the flood. We have simulated a flood attack successfully. For the fourth requirement, I'll be showing how to mitigate a incoming DoS attack. So we have to do certain changes to the Python firewall file, and these changes will be reflected in the report. For now, in this video, I'll be showing how we can mitigate the DoS attack. First, as usual, we'll have the Mininet up and running. Assign the IPs and open the exterms, each host individually. We'll be arranging them. 3. Next, for this, we will be running a special different box controller, which will help with this. So will be the, so for this also the shell file has been individually created, as you can see. It, it is a forwarding file which is associated with mitigating the DoS attack. DoS attack. So now that we will go and initially check for the dumps again. We can observe that there are no flows. Now we will, as done before, we will go and run the flood again. We do a hping and we will run the flood again. As you can see, the flood has started, and now we will also go to host 2 and check for the flood. Host 2 is also experiencing the flood. Here is where the difference is, but we can now observe that even though there is a flood, when I do a ping, even though I do a ping, the host h4 is not unreachable, meaning the data packets are still flowing successfully, even though we have done the same flood from the previous requirement. This is because of the special edits, the special code that has been extra code that has been written in a forwarding file, Python SDN firewall file rule appending that has been done, which causes the DOS attack not to affect this network. With this, the 4 requirements have been met, and all the required files, all the shell files, and all the required code will be attached with the report, which will be sent to the, which will be submitted today. Thanks for listening.